Right, welcome. So, we've been threatened with another Star Wars trilogy. No, it's not the Rian Johnson one. Yeah, that's still happening. Of course it is. Definitely. It's still happening, guys. Still happening. It definitely is. No, it's not. What was it? David Benioff and Weiss, the guys who they were supposed to do a trilogy as well at some point, weren't they? No, it's not them either. No, it's not them. This is a new one. It's a Simon Kinberg movie. Bizarre, but okay. And Variety have a report here. It says, why Lucasfilm entrusted Simon Kinberg to pilot the next Star Wars movies? Why indeed? This is a guy who had his directorial debut with X-Men Dark Phoenix. Not great film. Not very good, actually. In fact, actually, that was a shit film. And was a failure. Yeah. Well, anyway, he's been given it. He's going to be doing a new Star Wars trilogy, allegedly. Some conflicting reports about where Daisy Ridley will be sitting in this. It will continue the Skywalker saga, even though there's no Skywalkers left. Maybe they've listened to everyone's Reddit takes, where the Rey movie will have like a weird Force baby in it. And they're like, oh, we'll continue the Skywalkers that way. Force baby. I don't know, some crap. Anyway, so this is happening. Simon Kinberg's a terrible choice, obviously. But now what you're going to see are puff pieces from mainstream media trying to amp up Simon Kinberg as some good thing. This Variety piece isn't necessarily a puff piece, but it is laying the framework for presumably quite a lot of puff pieces to be released. And also, I will just say, I doubt this is happening. This is coming this was announced a week before. It was leaked to the press a week before Disney does a new investors call. They always do these things. They always announce them before an investors call. You can literally go back and look years in the past, right? We have multiple times where they have always announced things. They've never happened, by the way. Like 9 out of 10 of these things have never happened. But they always announce them prior to an investors call or an earnings call. And it's always done in an effort to, one, give the investors something to chew on. Like, oh yeah, you're definitely making something. Oh yeah, definitely haven't destroyed all of the IPs that Lucasfilm has owned. Oh yeah. And also in an effort to boost some of the stock. Because the stock prices, you know, if you hear that there's going to be a new Star Wars film, just remove Disney from the equation, previous. You hear there's a new Star Wars film, you're going to go, wow, it's not confirmed, but if that is true, this is a really good opportunity to buy some stock whilst it's quite low. Because it's definitely going to go up when that massive smash hit definitely releases. Obviously, it never does. But that obviously artificially inflates the stock price. So anyway, let's just get to this stupid article on why they think Simon Kinberg is like the next best thing for Star Wars. Obviously, he's not. He's terrible. But let's see what Variety has to say. When news broke on Thursday that Simon Kinberg, best known for being a writer, producer, director, or all of the above on much of the X-Men franchise. That's not true. He didn't direct much of the X-Men franchise. That's not true. That's not true. He was a producer on like most of them. He was also heavily involved in the writing of X-Men Apocalypse. And a producer on there, so probably involved in the aesthetic. Which is dog shit. The only good thing about the aesthetic of that movie was Olivia Munn's outfit. Fuck, she's fine. Anyway, had been hired by Lucasfilm to write and produce a new Star Wars trilogy. It came as a surprise to many executives at Lucasfilm and Disney. The project is considered internally to be in deep development and not nearly ready to be made public. Huh. I call BS on that. I say that they absolutely leaked it. This is always the case. So it's deep in development, not ready to be made public. Well, how did it get made public then? How did multiple outlets know about it? Check this out, how did multiple outlets know about it, but not the usual leakers on YouTube that have been 100% right about things in the past. Just gonna throw that out there as a question. How do you think mainstream media outlets, multiple outlets, knew about this? If this is deep in development, not nearly ready to be made public, but none of the leakers that had accurately leaked everything about previous movies on YouTube, how did they not know? Just gonna leave that one there. But anyway, continues further. Says there was also some surprise within the wider industry that Lucasfilm returned Kinberg as the newest steward of Star Wars on the big screen. According to multiple industry sources with experience working in the franchise space, Kinberg is seen on one level as a sensible and safe choice. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. Starting with 2000's XXX, State of the Union, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, his films as a screenwriter have grossed more than $3.3 billion worldwide. Beyond the X-Men films, he's also produced Cinderella, these are just producing. He just put some money down for Cinderella, The Martian, and the Poirot films. He's terrible. Sure, he's a good producer. Guess who else was a producer on lots of expensive movies that made lots of money? Guess. Kathleen Kennedy. It means shit. He's said to understand how to talk to film executives about franchise filmmaking in a way that allays their concerns about creative decisions affecting the costly bottom line for these kind of projects. Sorry? So they gave him the job because he's able to talk to executives and massage away their problems? That's terrible. His directing is dog shit, but you gave him the keys to the castle for that. Plums, never mind. On another level, however, Kinberg is regarded by some as a considerably risky bet. Dark Phoenix, his directorial debut in 2019, was the lowest grossing and worst reviewed film in the X-Men franchise to that point. Kinberg also produced the final X-Men movie, The New Mutants, which was delayed so frequently due to an inauspicious brew of creative concerns and Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox that the film wound up getting dumped as the first major wide release during the pandemic. Now that X-Men is firmly under the auspices of Marvel Studios, Kinberg has laboured to recreate his earlier success. His next, and to date last effort as a director, is 2022's spy thriller The 355 with Jessica Chastain, was a financial disaster, grossing $18.9 million worldwide. But don't worry, just give him fucking Star Wars. Lucasfilm executives are clearly smoking crack. Like, they're clearly high as kites when they make these decisions. I mean, please do. Just give him the money. It's fine. Because you make something shit, we'll be here to dump on it. And I'll be making money off of it. So, please do. Maybe I'll buy a new car. Anyway, Lucasfilm, meanwhile, has faced substantial difficulty launching a comprehensive film slate. Following 2019's Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, today only The Mandalorian and Grogu, a spin-off of the popular Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, has received an official green light. So given Kinberg's recent track record, what would lead Lucasfilm to enlist him to pilot a new fleet of Star Wars movies? Yeah, what indeed? One major factor, says one source with the knowledge of the deal, is Kinberg's continuing creative relationship with Lucasfilm. Creative executive Carrie Beck and Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni. So he's buddies. So nepotism. Great reason. So they both worked with Kinberg on the well-regarded 2014-2019 Star Wars Rebels. Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Kennedy, however, was the one who made the outreach to Kinberg about making a live-action Star Wars movie. She'd already brought him into the Star Wars fold once in 2012 as part of a brain trust with screenwriters Michael Arndt and Lawrence Kasdan to map out early ideas for Disney's first 3 Star Wars films. Work that was largely discarded after 2015's The Force Awakens. Kinberg was tapped again in 2018 to write a standalone Boba Fett feature with director James Mangold, but they were never able to submit a full script. That doesn't sound good then. The box office failure of Solo: A Star Wars Story that year, coupled with Disney's new mandate to create content for its upcoming streaming service, caused Kennedy to shift the studio's Star Wars strategy away from standalone movies. The Boba Fett film was cancelled just months after Mangold and Kinberg were hired, but they also didn't submit a full script anyway. Studio insiders also stressed that while media reports have claimed that Kinberg's Star Wars movies will continue the Skywalker saga, as episodes 10, 11 and 12, The films are in their most nascent stage. Kinberg's efforts are meant to create a new saga, but as is the case with virtually all script development, specific plot details and characters are light years away from taking their final shape, let alone arrive in theatres. Kinberg is also already committed to helping revive another celebrated sci-fi franchise that has hit a fallow period, signing on to produce what Paramount's aims will be its next Star Trek movie, directed by Toby Haynes and written by Seth Grahame-Smith. And Kinberg is producing Edgar Wright's The Running Man. Yes, so he's just producer. This is terrible. Anyway, there you go. Puff piece by Variety. Literally just like, yeah, nepotism did it. Anyway, there you go. Star Wars. What a total shit show. Leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear it. If you're new here, do hit subscribe if you enjoy videos like this. For returning subscribers, support me further. I have to ask. I have a Patreon, and you can support me there for as little as $2 a month. YouTube is beginning to censor people. They've done it for a long time now, but they're clamping down in quite unusual ways. So please do support me there. It's linked down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.